Nagaland floods, Army and Assam Rifles to the rescue as torrential monsoon rains continue to wreak havoc across parts of Nagaland, triggering flash floods and severe waterlogging in several districts. The Indian Army and Assam Rifles have stepped in as first responders, launching a large-scale flood relief and rescue operation in Dimapur. This timely effort has brought much-needed relief to distressed civilians in Villuam and SM Colony, two of the worst affected areas in the city. Following an urgent appeal for assistance from the state government and local administration, the Assam Rifles and Indian Army, operating under Spear Corps, immediately mobilized flood relief columns with requisite equipment and personnel to conduct rescue operations. The deployment was carried out in close coordination with the State Disaster Response Force (SDRF), ensuring an efficient and swift evacuation of stranded residents. In a matter of hours after receiving the request for aid to civil authorities, troops reached the inundated zones, navigating through chest-deep water, submerged streets, and collapsed pathways. Using rescue boats, life jackets, and improvised floating devices, the relief teams were able to extract dozens of families, including elderly citizens, women, children, and people with disabilities, many of whom were stranded without food or access to medical aid. A senior officer from Spear Corps leading the operation stated, "Our teams are trained for rapid response in natural disasters. Civilian safety is our top priority, and we are working hand in hand with the civil administration to ensure timely evacuation and medical assistance. Every life matters." Medical personnel attached to the rescue columns also provided first aid and emergency care, while dry rations and clean drinking water were distributed to those displaced by the floods. Temporary shelters have been set up in coordination with the civil authorities for evacuees. Heavy downpours over the past 72 hours have resulted in rivers breaching their banks, localized flooding and waterlogging across Dimapur and nearby districts. Authorities have issued advisories asking residents in low-lying areas to remain alert and prepare for possible evacuations. The rescue and relief efforts are ongoing, with the Indian Army and Assam Rifles continuing to monitor vulnerable zones for any signs of further inundation or distress calls. The forces have placed additional relief columns on standby should the situation deteriorate further. Local leaders, administrative officials, and community members have widely praised the quick and effective intervention by the armed forces. If the Army and Assam Rifles had not come in time, the situation could have turned tragic. Their discipline, professionalism, and compassion displayed by the Army and Assam Rifles in these difficult times have won the hearts of the people, said a Dimapur district official. Videos and images of uniformed personnel carrying children to safety and assisting elderly civilians through waist-deep water have gone viral on social media, evoking a deluge of posts expressing gratitude and admiration for the armed forces. Known as Sentinels of the Northeast, the Assam Rifles has a long-standing history of assisting civilian populations in times of natural calamities. From landslides and floods to pandemics and infrastructure crises, this force has established its undisputed credentials as a people-centric force that fulfills its mandated security responsibilities and humanitarian missions with aplomb. The Assam Rifles has significantly complemented the Indian Army's flood relief mission during the ongoing Nagaland floods, and their close cooperation with the civil administration deserves due appreciation, has once again underscored their multidimensional capabilities as well as deep connection with and genuine concern for the well-being of the local population. As floodwaters continue to rise, uncertainty looms, and it's the unwavering commitment of the Indian Army and Assam Rifles and their innate ability to deliver that has provided a beacon of hope to the people of Nagaland. Their timely intervention has not only saved lives but further strengthened faith in the power of solidarity, service, and swift action characteristic of the Army and Assam Rifles. Swipe left for next video as weather forecasts predict more rainfall in the coming days. The Indian Army and Assam Rifles remain on high alert, sending the unambiguous message that the nation's armed forces are not just protectors of borders but also equally committed to the safety and well-being of their fellow countrymen. The author is editor Brighter Kashmir, author, TV commentator, political analyst, and columnist. Views expressed in the above piece are personal and solely those of the author. They do not necessarily reflect NEWS18's views. Latest blogs.